Hey, it's Coach Irma. Have you ever had one of those awful days and you just can't focus? Listen, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I just watched one of The Rock's motivations, how he goes back to the dark days, and it all hit home very well. I started looking at all the darkness and everything that I've gone through. You see, I come from a single parent. I was raised on welfare. My mom had 5 children, and we moved 22 different times. We went to school to Mexico, we went to school in Guatemala, and we moved about 20 times here in Los Angeles. Not because we wanted to, because we had to. There was a discrimination against mothers and children. If they didn't want you, they would evict you, regardless if it was the law or not. And I realized the injustices that was happening. And we did have a lot of ups and downs. I remember going through that struggle. But you know what? I'm so glad we had those struggles. I had 22 different fights because we had 22 different moves. And kids could be really rough. And I remember actually bullies. Bullies were one of the things that helped me in my life. And I actually want to thank the bullies for pushing my buttons and pushing me forward so that I can defend my honor and my self-esteem and my work ethic. One of the things that I realized is every year I would move, I would be new to the school students, and I had instant enemies right away. Girls and boys were my friends right away, and I liked it. Guys were really easy. I would play marbles. We played sports. Once I played sports, kids knew that I was either very strong or very powerful, and I got a little popular that way. But popularity was very interesting because then the biggest bully would come to me. The last time, one of the first fights I remember, the 6th grade, 1986. We had a kickball contest, and of course we ended up losing. We had a big old fight. Someone called me chicken. I turned around, we started brawling, and we beat each other up, and it was very interesting because it was my first day of school, and I didn't know she was the most popular kid in school. So 3 p.m. came around, and when I looked outside the window, this girl goes, "Ooh, they're gonna kick your ass. Look, look, everybody's waiting for you." And I looked down, there's about 100 people waiting for me to kick my butt. My hands were sweating, my heart started pumping. I didn't even know what to do. And my sister had been out of school, and she was always my backup. We always would fight, and she was pretty strong. So I was a undefeated champion with my sister, but this time she wasn't around. And one thing a teacher did well, Mr. Jip, I remember in the 6th grade in 86, he looked at me, he's like, "Look at here, Sandoval, you got enemies right away?" And he started laughing. He says, "Look, I can't legally drive you in my car, but I'm gonna drive you and walk you 1 block, as I know you just live 1 block away." And he did. It was one teacher that cared about me to make sure that I was home safely. And I walked, and I remember kids moving out of the way, trying to say, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you up, ooh." And I was like, wow, I felt like I had base with my coach and my teacher. And anyways, I got home safely. And then the next day, I know I gave her some good punches. So the next day, she didn't want to fight with me. But she did say, she said she wanted to. She wanted to compete with me, what they call freaking, dancing. And guess what? I love dancing. I've been practicing since I was a kid, soul trained, dance-a-thons. I was always practicing. So it went from a fight to a dance-a-thon, and I already had my jam. I had been practicing. I laid out my foundation, my move, boom, boom. Everyone went, "Oh," I killed the move. She lost. We shook hands, and she became my best friend. I had 22 fights, and every fight that I had ended up turning into actually a friend. And I realized that bullies were being bullied. And I found out that brothers and sisters, something was happening in their family. But I would tell them, "Hey, you better not beat anybody else up, or else I'll kick your ass again, because you shouldn't be hitting people just because you're big." My dad always taught me how to defend myself. And I did, through verbally, physically, and mentally. And now, of course, I defend my honor and my beliefs and my values. I don't tell you to impress upon you, but to impress that in life, you might be going through some darkness, a bully at work, bully at school, bullying your kids. Learn how to strive to win, use your mind, use your body, and defend your honor. I sure did, and I want to thank all 22 different fights. You made me who I am, and every light and every gift is a darkness and a gift, and I appreciate every single one. If you also want to use your darkness as a gift, hit me up. Just message me. Get Me Better Challenge. It just starts very soon. I can't wait to help you transform and get to the other side. Coach Irma says, keep on living and lifting.